Traffic in parts of the supercity is moving super slowly this evening after a freak accident on Auckland's Harbour Bridge. Some lanes on the bridge could be out of action for several weeks after a massive gust of wind toppled two trucks, causing damage to the bridge's superstructure. The incident closed lanes, caused huge snakes of gridlocked traffic, and two lanes each way have now reopened, but motorists are being told to avoid the bridge entirely if they can. Neil Walker of Waka Kotahi joins us now with the latest. Hi Neil, what's it looking like out there?
Well, it's pretty busy in Auckland at the moment if you're going anywhere near the bridge at the moment. So obviously there's a lot of congestion because we've halved the capacity of the bridge. But we've got our people working on it at the moment to see what we can do to get it open as soon as we can. There's been a reasonable bit of damage to one part of the bridge though, and that's on that centre piece where the arch is. We've got our people having a look at the moment to see what we can do around trying to get it open with a temporary fix as soon as we can. But it is going to probably take us the weekend to have confidence on when we think we can do that.
Okay, can you just sort of explain a little bit more about the damage? What's critical about that arch and what exactly has happened to it?
It was the larger of the two trucks that was involved this morning. Actually, it hit one of the part of the structure on the bridge. It's put a reasonable deformed basically it's a strut which runs in the bridge, and so our engineers at the moment are looking at to see what we think we need to do to actually. We're going to have to do two things. I think one is what's the permanent fix for it. So we'll have to refabricate part of the bridge. But the second part is what can we do in the meantime to firm it up so that we can put some light traffic back on it in the meantime. They're going to be spending the whole weekend working on that. We're going to have people up having a closer look to the actual damage on the bridge itself. And we really need to do that in the morning. We couldn't do it today because of the wind conditions.
Yeah, so what is the concern about the damage? I mean, what does that translate to in terms of, I know the bridge is still safe to use, but what is the potential risk that you're trying to deal with here?
It's taking the part that has been damaged at the moment, refabricating it, and then it's not just a matter of replacing, parts of steel on the bridge. They've got to be treated and so forth. We've got to make sure that when we take it off, any movement in the overall structure and so forth as well, is that we're fully considering all of that so that when the permanent fix is made, that it's done properly.
So can the bridge cope with normal loads of traffic? I mean, in terms of actual physical weight and the structure of the bridge?
Yeah, so where the traffic's travelling on at the moment is what they call the clip-ons, and the clip-ons are actually supported by their own structure. So that's all been looked at to make sure that it's safe to do that.
So you're potentially looking at weeks for a permanent fix. So what does that mean in practical terms for people who use that every day?
Well, it's 8 lanes and we're down to 4, so with half the capacity on it. So it's going to have some impact on traffic trying to travel across the harbour. Our advice to people is, look, it's going to take us a while, and so really while we're doing the repairs, we're asking people to have a really think about their travel, when they need to travel and so forth. We've got Route 16, Route 20, that's the alternate route, the Western Ring route, and that's the alternate route for people to travel. But while there's extra demand on the Auckland network, it's obviously there's going to be congestion across the network. So our goal is to make sure we can try and get the thing open as quickly as we can, but we want to make sure we do that so that it's safe, whatever with the repairs that are taken and were done properly.
Realistically, what are you aiming for then, Neil, for the temporary fix? When do you hope to have that in place?
We'll have a better idea, I think, over the weekend. As I say, we've got to have people out having a look, and we don't really want to make any predictions until we've actually had a really, really good look at it, and we're confident around how long that's going to take. So I'm not sure. I think we'll have a better view on that later in the weekend.
Yeah. So these trucks, was it just that they're higher than the other vehicles, and when the gusts came through, that's why they took the brunt of it?
Yeah, well, definitely the higher side vehicles don't handle the wind as well. It was an exceptional gust though we had, because generally we do monitor the wind speed on the bridge, And it was the gusts were well below the threshold when we had ever considered closing the bridge. But
what is that threshold, Neil? Just curious, what is
110 kilometres.
So, and there was no indication of that, so hence it was open.
It was gusting well under that when, and then we had a freak gust come through.
Should trucks be on the bridge, do you reckon, or should they take another route normally because of this risk?
Well, the bridge has been designed to carry trucks. I mean, it's, there's risk for anyone travelling across any of our roads when we've got heavy windy conditions, and there's, vans and motorcycles and all of those are at risk when you're travelling on a gusty conditions. So.
Appreciate your time this evening. That is Neil Walker of Waka Kotahi there.